Every second, someone around the world dies from a murder. Sometimes we just look at them and wonder what is going on inside their head. How could they do such a thing that I know I would never do? Well, would it be a good enough reason to tell you that it's really just part of their DNA? For example, the warrior gene is commonly found within killers. This gene can activate impulsiveness and aggression from their environment. Why not just remove it, right? So, ever wonder if you could change a person's DNA to avoid brutal crimes around the world? First, let's talk about what exactly DNA is. DNA makes up our entire being and who we are. It is found in the nucleus of our cells, and they are made out of 4 molecules: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. These 4 molecules are arranged in pairs, and we have a billion of them. RNA, which is a copy of a small section from the DNA, is then decoded by the ribosomes to create proteins, which is basically the building block of our body. 99.9% of human DNA sequence are the same. The small differences are what makes it special. That 0.1% is still composed of a million genes that give us our unique physical appearance and personality. DNA does not only come from us humans, but also in every living thing in this world.
This is a story of a family, a mother and father who had 2 offspring that were identical twin boys. The boys' names were Smart Scott and Naughty Nick. They inherited identical genes from their parents. They inherited the MAOA gene and the CDH13 gene called the warrior genes. The warrior genes put them at risk of committing brutal crimes. This scenario illustrates the idea of nature. Nature refers to the instincts and genetic traits that we are born with, whereas genetics is defined as the study of heredity and the variation of inherited characteristics. The story progresses. One day the family breaks down. Smart Scott and Naughty Nick are adopted by different families. Smart Scott grows up in a loving, adopted home and lives as an ideal citizen. Naughty Nick, on the other hand, grows up in an unloving, adopted home. He cheated and killed people, and he served a prison sentence. This example illustrates the idea of nurture. Nurture refers to social and environmental influences that affect our personalities. Epigenetics literally means above genetics. It is the study of changes in organisms caused by modification of gene expression, rather than alteration of the genetic code itself. Epigenetic information is controlled by histones, which are proteins. The DNA winds itself around the histones. When the DNA is loose, the genes express more. When the DNA is tightly wound, the genes express less. Epigenetic information in a cell is not permanent. It can change throughout one's life.
In 1990, the Human Genome Project was initiated, where researchers were determined to discover the sequence of nucleotide bases that make human DNA. After 13 years of research, an entire human genome was finally sequenced, and the project ended in 2003. However, today with our technology, we can now have our genome sequenced within an hour. Genetic information is like binary code. It is difficult to understand it ourselves, and it will take time, but with the help of computers, they can be easily translated. The Human Genome Project made it possible for us to get early detections of disease and illness within many people. Through this project, we've learned a lot about ourselves and are continuing to expand our knowledge.
Ever wonder if the warrior genes in a person's DNA can be changed to stop the person from committing brutal crimes? Naughty Nick wondered if switching off the warrior genes in his DNA would make him less aggressive and a more empathetic person. There is a happy ending to the story. Smart Scott and Naughty Nick are reunited with their birth family. How on earth did the birth family find each other? Simple. They went to Ancestry.com, which matches DNA profiles. Today, Naughty Nick is a model citizen and has given up his criminal activities as he finds himself in the midst of a loving family.
Now, the question is, can this really become a reality? Would it be legitimately possible to change someone's DNA and get rid of murderers? Well, with our current flow of research and advanced technology, this idea can come true in the future. Hearing about this makes you a little excited, right? Maybe we can get rid of genes that murderers usually have and replace them with better ones to create good people in the future. However, is it something that should be recommended? Not exactly. To go over everybody in this world and make sure they do not carry a harmful gene will take a long time to process. Many people carry a gene that can lead to murder, and it is their environment that can either activate this or not. However, to ensure all possible murderers are removed, we would have to check through everybody, even if the gene has been triggered or not, and change it. This can cause a lot of money and resources. Also, it can get a little complicated since some genes are connected with others, so if we get rid of one completely, this may cause other complications to someone's personality.
We do not agree with DNA technology that can change a person's DNA in order to avoid crimes. We know that the warrior genes, MAOA and CDH13, can express less in a positive environment if the nurture is stronger than the nature. Since positive nurture can change genes by switching on and off expressions, one can basically live a positive life just by surrounding themselves with good people, healthy food, and significant lifestyle changes such as exercise. We hope that you have learned something from our Ever Wonder project today, and remember to stay curious.